one is next.
Is that for the dismissal to that?
It's for the assault in the public.
Okay, just making sure.
Norman, this is who I
It
have.
should be, if you want to check the file number.
All right, we are back on the record in 2021, CR 4086, State of Texas versus Tyrone Leonard Shepherd. So where we left off, Mr. Shepherd, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or forced you to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Sure, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied? Yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial, showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's a $500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking into consideration 2021 CR 8392. There's to be restitution to and the anger management course. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense?
That's correct, Judge.
State.
It is, Your Honor.
The state is asking that your deferred adjudication be for a cap of 4 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 150 hours of community service restitution, and no contact with. Did you understand that those are recommendations from the state? Court does not have to follow those recommendations.
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest, Your Honor.
State any evidence?
Honor, State Exhibit number 1 with all its attachments.
Any objection?
No objections.
Going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same.
And I briefly, Judge,
Yes.
another, I guess, condition of his probation was that he be allowed to transfer to Georgia, where his family is, and
Okay.
he has support structure there.
All right. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, please, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Judge, I would remind the court that Mr. Shepherd has already spent more than a year and a half in the Bear County Detention Center on a mental health hold. He received 0 treatment. While in the jail, he was eventually released, following a subsequent finding of competency by the magistrate court. He has never missed a court appointment. He has no prior criminal history. He is a veteran. The complaining witness was a veteran. This essentially is a mutual combat self-defense case. The question being reasonableness of the self-defense. For that reason, I would ask the court to give Mr. Shepherd 2 years deferred adjudication and require him to participate in mental health treatment the entire period.
All right, Mr. Shepherd, where in Atlanta? I'm sorry, where in Georgia?
I'm not too sure at the moment, Your Honor. I'm not too sure at the moment, Your Honor. My parents have not made the decision.
Okay, so here's the thing. Before I allow you a transfer to Georgia,
Can I?
I- yes.
And may I speak to that also? I spoke to his father. His father has informed me that they have a place for him in their home. They have several acres and a home for him to stay in.
but where in Georgia? I still don't know that answer.
It would be in Brinson. Brinson.
How do you spell that?
Brinson.
And what county is that? Does anybody know? Any objections to me Googling? We'll see if Google knows.
No objections.
Oh, it's Decatur County. Okay. According to this, if it turns out it's not Decatur County and they're wrong, you need to let probation know.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is going to sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication. There's to be no contact with and restitution to. Do you have any children? Yes, you.
I support 2 kids.
What are their ages?
One is 5 and the other is 2.
All right. I'll allow transfer to Georgia and Decatur County. And Ms. Abrams, Google tells me that Brinson is in Decatur County. If it turns out it's not in Decatur, let me know. There should be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs. All right, and I want him to get in contact with Decatur with their mental health department. So I'll just say Mick, but I know it's not going to be Mick here once he's transferred. Yes. All right, so you to follow through on mental health treatment. And Decatur County, Georgia. And you're to follow up with the veterans with the VA. And proof of employment or SSI within 45 days of transfer. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 150 hours community service restitution. I'm going to require parenting classes. Once that's complete, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
Your Honor, between the mental health indicator and the proof of employment, you said something and I didn't quite catch it.
He's to make contact with a veterans treatment organization there. And I don't know if they have that. I just learned about this place called, well, this division under veterans treatment called Temple Domiciliary. I don't know if they have that there, but if they do, under that umbrella, they do take care of mental health. So you'll need to check into that, or your attorney can check into that for you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else?
Your Honor, I just want to make it clear that although there is permission to transfer to Georgia, that he is to remain in Texas, in Bexar County until the transfer is accepted. And that could take anywhere from 30 to 60 days.
All right. So you're not to leave Bexar County until you're actually officially transferred to Decatur, Georgia. You understand?
That's cool, Your Honor.
All right. Is it cool? But do you understand?
I understand it, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
I believe he's also currently under monitor GPS.
All right,
How
so-
does that be removed?
Once he's transferred to Georgia, the GPS can be removed. There'll be removal of GPS upon transfer.
So he's on GPS with pretrial right now.
Mhm.
It's a totally different thing. We would need a condition for GPS for this, and then
All right. So here's the issue with GPS. GPS will not allow for that device to be paid for. So is he able to pay for GPS monitoring or no?
I'm unsure, Judge.
Are you able to afford to pay for GPS?
Not at the moment, Your Honor.
All right. So if there's no objection to removing it in lieu of the GPS, I can have him call into probation weekly. Is everybody okay with that?
No objection, mistake.
All right. So we'll remove GPS. And he is to contact probation weekly until transfer. And if for some reason Georgia decides not to accept him, y'all can come back and I'll see what we're doing with the weekly reporting.
yes, Judge.
All right. Is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. If you want to go to Veterans Treatment Court and find out where they're having their staffing, they would probably be able to help him get in contact with whoever he needs to be in contact with Georgia. So there's a seamless transition.
Do you happen to know where Veterans Treatment Court is?
All right, does anyone know where the location of Veterans Treatment Court, what floor?
No, it's 186.
That's the second floor.
Just a second, I'm going through these conditions with the.
All right, so she'll
Oh,
confirm.
that's the third.
Thank you very much, Judge.
All right, you're welcome.
Yes, excuse me.
Court is calling 2023 CR 7675. State of Texas versus Matthew Randall Sanchez Lavario. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Good right now.
All right, and are you Mr. Lavario Jr.?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Lavario, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes,
Do you believe he's currently competent, was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Lavario, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. According to the plea, punishments be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine, affirmative finding of deadly weapon, affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no harmful or injurious contact with. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes.
Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
State?
It is, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you then to the offense as charged? How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State exhibit number 1 with all the attachments.
Any objections?
Objection.
All right, and state, have you had a chance to speak with the complainant?
I believe the plaintiff had not been contacted for this case, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find the defendant guilty. Counsel, I have a problem with the no harmful or injurious contact with. So is that a sticking point for everybody? Because it seems that based upon what I'm reading, maybe he shouldn't be at that house though.
It's his father.
I mean, I understand.
The father has, well.
I mean,
Sure, he has no objection to that.
all right, but you understand my concern?
After that, no.
Okay. Oh, well, because I mean, it's saying that his father, he struck him with a machete
I understand.
on the ankle
I understand.
and it went to the bone. So I'm just trying to figure out why is there a,
That was the initial report. I agree with that.
okay,
However, as the whole thing developed, that's why we're here on this point. It turned out to be somewhat less than it was explained in that report. It still happened.
Mhm.
The father has no objection. We had no objection with him living that period. So it's not a problem for the father.
okay, I understand there's not a problem for him, but I have a slight problem.
Okay.
So is there an issue or something that was discovered after that I'm not aware of? I mean, if there was, if somebody can let me know.
Anna Ochoa Nelson for the state judge.
Yes.
We did receive an affidavit of non-prosecution from the victim in the case who claims that it was some kind of lawn accident They were cleaning trees, that he did not want the case to proceed forward, Judge.
Okay. All right, that clears things up for me.
Yes,
I need to have that cleared up because otherwise,
I didn't want to talk to the prosecutor on it.
all right, no problem. All right. The court will sentence you, as previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. Court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's been no harmful or injurious contact with. Is there some type of mental health or issues with alcohol with your client?
Not that I'm aware of, Judge.
All right. Do you have any issues with alcohol or anything of that nature, drug use? If you do, I can request the therapeutic community for you at the prison. Whether you get in the therapeutic community or not will be completely up to the prison because I have no jurisdiction to force them to do that. But if you would like that, it does not increase the length of time that you are in custody. But if you need it, now's the time to say it and to perhaps get it. No? Okay. All right. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
Nothing further extent since you followed the plea agreement, Judge.
All right. So did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights? With your attorney, did you understand it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence and also a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
36.
All right, I'm going to tell you this. Usually, people only get one parent in their life. I'm going by what happened from the police report and what everybody's telling me. But you know what happened? Your father knows what happened. What I know is if you're going to be living with your father, you need to be respectful to your father. If you feel like your father is not being respectful to you, then you need to get your own place. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you. Thank you.
Issues, John?
Yes.